Senator Bradford.
Thank you, Madam President. Today I adjourn in memory of a LA luminary, a businessman extraordinaire, that in the person of Fred Anthony Calloway. Mr. Calloway was one of the founding members of the president of the 100 Black Men of Los Angeles, and he was a major catalyst for disadvantaged and underrepresented members of the community. Mr. Calloway was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, but he moved to California and he became the first African-American buyer for Barker Brothers Home Furnishings, starting in the lamps, mirrors, and accessories and arts department, and later supervised departments in 19 Barker Brothers stores. He later began a successful career as a manufacturer's representative, where he represented, employed, trained, and shared his expertise with others to increase sales of several accessory manufacturers on the East and West Coast. If you've gone into any of the major department stores over the last 40 years and you saw the amazing displays that were set there, that was the work of Mr. Calloway. He was also known for his business acumen and his professional accomplishments. His philosophy was, you must be creative and strive for change by constantly upgrading your thinking, because if you only keep up with the trends to generate something new, then your work is going to be very dull. Mr. Calloway also founded BC2, the environmental corporation, with his son, my good friend, Dr. Anthony Calloway, and David Belasco. The corporation specialized in environmental and geological drilling while operating with integrity, professionalism, and safety. He served as president and CEO with the responsibility of overall management and operations of the company, with particular emphasis on marketing, business development, personnel, and financial matters. Mr. Calloway was also the founding president and board member of the Southern California Drillers Association. But beginning in 1976, Mr. Calloway purchased the Regency West facility in Leimert Park. If you're familiar with LA, if you've been in LA for over 40 years, you have gone at one point for a quinceañera, a boule, a debutante, a great dinner, a fundraiser for presidential candidate, you name it. It was hosted at the Regency West, a center that Mr. Calloway owns still this day, and it was a proud center. But if you were a fan of the emerging black comedy in the 80s and early 90s, it was there at the Regency West Theater that was converted to the Comedy Act Theater, where comedy greats like Robin Harris was discovered, Jamie Foxx, before was there ever a movie, Kim Whitley, I can go on and on, the Wayans brothers, they all performed there in the late 80s and early 90s, and it was due to Mr. Calloway's generosity of making that facility available to the promoter, Michael Williams, that we might not have never known any of these great comics that grace our TV and movie screens today. Mr. Calloway is a husband, he was a father, he was a grandfather, father-in-law, and just an all-around good friend. He was a dear friend and mentor to me when I joined the 100 Black Men over 15 years ago. He welcomed me with open arms and always had words of encouragement and guidance for me. And it's only one thing that I regret over the years. If you think Willie Brown is an exquisite dresser, then you need to see Fred Calloway. He was probably the only person I know who could rival Willie Brown. And he always said, little brother, come over to the house. I have a closet full of suits that I want to give you. And I never took him up on that. And he would always nudge me and let me know if I was gaining a little weight. He would say, hey, little brother, pretty soon you won't be able to fit those suits, so you better come on over to the house. And I was never able to, I never took advantage of that, but he was an exquisite dresser, always a beautiful hat on his head, and just all around just great man. He will be known for his confident. He was a confidant to so many, advisor, as I stated, and a hero to many young adults, including myself, and a mentor. He was kind, with a spirit, caring demeanor, and a dedication to the better lives of so many around him, and he will be greatly missed. We were blessed to call him a friend. We were blessed to have him here in Los Angeles and California, and he's a great American. He'll be missed by his amazing wife, Eugenia, his son Anthony, his daughter, many of you get to know, Vanessa Bale Calloway, the actress, and his two amazing granddaughters, Ashley and Alexander. I respectfully ask you to adjourn in memory of Fred Anthony Calloway.